Party people in the place to be. Live from 58 Dream Street, Greg and James beat 'em up. That's right, it's the Twitch show where this guy, James, and this guy, Greg, play beat 'em up video games. You can read the title.
Got it by voices, annoyed grunt to you as well.
I got it by voices in the house. Of course, while I do believe he was making his annoyed grunt during the phase that this game that we're playing today was produced, I think that we should be imagining Homer with a voice like Walter Matthau.
Yes.
Today.
Yes.
Like this is a season 1 product. I think.
It is indeed, yeah. We'll get into it as we play.
But we're playing The Simpsons.
We're playing The Simpsons.
And at long last, it's game 40, and it's the last in our notables through 1993, which is a pretty arbitrary category on the one hand, but on the other hand, has actually been very instructive because we have played the leading lights, the big ones that stick out in the genre of the beat 'em up, and then next up we'll go back and we'll play just any, play them all, play every single one of them. But before that begins, we got to wrap up phase 1.
Gotta do it.
And we're doing that.
Let's do it
with the Simpsons game, which we have got working, I believe. Reasonably confident this is going to work based on my having checked it. I had to install an older version of the MAME emulator. Danielle is shutting the door so she doesn't have to listen to us, which is fair. We just have to keep an eye out for Abra, who is sleeping in this room and might, now that the door is closed, be like, well, I hate being in here. I hate when a door is closed.
This is a trap place.
So, so I'm going to fire up the MAME emulator.
That would help. That would be first step.
It's open properly, and we're going to double check that we have our controls set up before we get started. So it did just infer, because I had the joystick plugged in when I tested this, it inferred that I wanted joystick 1 set up as the main control and did so. Did it do the same for Greg? Yes.
Yes. Nice.
Looks like.
So there's 2 options here: the 2-player version and the 4-player version. The 2-player version allows us to select our characters. The 4-player version was the one where there was a dedicated slot on the arcade cabinet for each Simpson.
A larger cabinet where you select your character by choosing where to put your coin in. We're going to do 2-player if it works, which I believe it will.
Yep, we've got faith. What else do we need but faith?
Okay. We're underway. A RAM-ROM check going on. The only thing that isn't configured, Greg, is our buttons for start and insert coin. Okay. This is a problem we can deal with.
Now we're just going to shop this over a little bit.
It's configured. It was positioned strangely because the X-Men game was in widescreen. So what we've got here, it's not exactly the Danny Elfman arrangement of the Simpsons theme you love and remember, but this is a reasonably faithful
Embrace nothingness. It's pretty good.
Play friendly, everyone. What about the other 2? Did they happen before Lisa came up and I just wasn't paying attention?
Yeah, you just weren't paying attention.
Alright, I was getting everything fixed.
Alright, so here we are.
So here we are. Let's pop some coins in for us and we'll get started. Wait. Oh no. I don't know what the coin buttons are. Oh no, it's not the coin button issue. It's the gotta be in the window issue.
Is that it? Yeah, you've done it.
Yes, that's it. Pressing player 1 start, pressing player 2 start. Who are you gonna play as, Greg?
Let's go with Marge.
I'll be Bart.
Alright.
So, our somewhat absurd story of really, really evil looking Waylon Smithers. Oh, Cedric! I missed your message when it was coming up. What did you say? The Simpsons and Mr. Burns have always been mortal enemies, just like Simpsons Battletoads, Simpsons the X-Men, or the Simpsons bad dudes, or the Simpsons and other Simpsons. Ha! Yes, it's true. And especially, yeah, Mr. Burns often plays an outsized, The Simpsons versus the World is also a game about Mr. Burns getting all of his ancestors or his relatives around the world to try to kill the Simpsons for him when he pretends to be sending them on a global vacation to settle a lawsuit or something.
Yeah.
In this one, Smithers is just inexplicably committing a really heavy-handed crime. Oh, that was cool. You got hit by the opening door.
I got hit by the door, yeah.
So we have, and then Smithers is inexplicably doing this smash and grab for the diamond, and then he drops it, and it gets caught in Maggie's mouth, and so he inexplicably is like, whatever, I'll just kidnap her, and then a whole lot of people attack us.
Yeah.
And then we get cameos. Check it out. Martin, Principal Skinner, just hanging out. Nothing really to him. The controls are very similar to Ninja Turtles, and this is also a Konami game.
Yeah.
Like, it's a jump button and an attack button, and the jump kick works pretty much the same way. Or the jump attack. You jump, and then when you press the button, you come down at a 45-degree angle. The firefighters are on Burns' payroll. And they have handgun fire extinguishers, which is cool, if also kind of inexplicable from a design standpoint. That apple was not health, Craig. That's interesting. What did it do?
I have no idea. I just got it because I thought maybe it would be a thing. This is beautifully put together.
There. Oh! I was trying to drop it for you. And instead, this is excellent boss music. Yeah. I was trying to drop the hamburger so that you could have it, but it turned out that knocking it off the platter was the eating function. And so I gained the health that I didn't need.
That's okay.
We'll just beat this boss. Oof. Every now and then he loses his pants like King Hippo, indeed. Good call, Got It by Voices.
That's my first life.
Whoa.
I come back as a superhero.
Ha! That's a fun touch.
So,
a lot of the early Simpsons games are not good, and this is pretty good so far.
This is pretty good.
But a lot of the early Simpsons games are not good, but they are full of charm.
So the thing about this
interesting use of the Simpsons.
Yeah, so the thing about this game is, for those who don't know, The Simpsons debuted in December of 1989, so pretty much 1990.
They debuted with a Christmas episode, which is
did.
not the plan.
Nope, but it happened.
Some Enchanted Evening, which wound up being the finale of the first season, came back from the animators with just a lot of errors. They almost actually... The producers were considering abandoning the show entirely if the second episode came back as bad as the first one.
Amazing.
Which is oh no, we're obviously so close. Yeah, this guy is a much more reasonable boss than that Ultimate Warrior lookalike guy much later.
But yes, got him.
All right.
But this game came out in March of 1991. So, very much, they were dealing with the first season of the show. I believe when they licensed it, the first season was still airing. So...
Yeah, it must have been.
This is early.
And go after Maggie. Ready?
Alright,
we both beat the CPU. So hey, that fair play to the arcade. Because it is not unheard of for games of this era to put you up against the CPU.
Sorry, Got It by Voices.
To put you up against the CPU in a rapid button pressing combination, and then just take advantage of the fact that the CPU can press the button as many times as it wants to make it near impossible.
Oh, this guy's an enemy.
Who the hell are you?
Ha! And Bart says, "Who the hell are you?" when the guy's mask falls off to reveal that he's not a real Krusty, but a Krusty like the one that Homer would become later. It's a call
much
forward
later.
to Homer the Clown.
This is the thing.
One of the greatest Simpsons episodes of all time.
This predates so many Simpsons episodes, including
Otto,
any Simpsons.
Dr. Marvin Monroe.
Yeah. Again, season 1 characters only. Oh damn.
Otto was definitely a much bigger deal of a character early in the show.
I need a coin.
Oh. There we go.
I'm switching to Homer.
The guys who are playing... There's Milhouse. Guys playing Krusty. Oh! He'll actually give us the hammer. Oh, and you don't lose it just because you got caught. But they're there riding the teacups.
And these Amish-looking fellows.
Guys who are clearly... Oh! Yeah, we should have seen this coming.
So yeah, this is before the episode where they go to Itchy and Scratchy Land.
Oh, well before.
Well before. This is before Homer becomes a boxer. Like this game is such a cold shot to be like, hey.
They did have the episode where they did have Bart the General, where Bart marshals the other kids to take on Nelson, who was a much less comedic character in the first season. Mm-hmm. More just a cruel bully. Whoa. I was hoping the soda pop would restore my health. I think only Krusty Burgers would restore your health. Every now and then, Bart just starts doing some kind of cool spin move. Ha! I like that the bear busts out of its thing, but is not an enemy because it's just a bear. It just wants to go, makes a break for it.
Hold on, let's try a combo move. You just have to stand next to me and do nothing.
Well, I'm in.
Here.
Okay.
Hey, can you do stuff?
Yeah. Not much. Hey, we gotta fight the
guys from Mac Groening's original show.
Yeah, not show. But...
Well, his comic strip.
Yeah. I'll bring little Lisa. Oh, she's using a jump rope instead of a saxophone. She
does have a saxophone at this point.
What?
She does have a saxophone at this point, but I guess it wasn't iconic enough yet. It's in the intro.
That's weird, because this season 1 has the first Bleeding Gums Murphy episode.
It does, yeah.
I guess they were just like, she'd break the saxophone and she'd save the people with it. Hey, there's Snowball 2.
Probably should have saved Snowball 2 for this boss, which appears to be a giant Krusty balloon.
Interesting. So does Mr. Burns' investment holdings have a deal with the Krusty licensing or something?
I guess. I don't think this game really thought it out. Again,
I guarantee they didn't. I'm just saying.
The origin of this game, I tried looking it up because I was so curious as to why they would be like, why the Simpsons? And the answer is, basically they had a huge success with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and the immediate response was, well, are there any other cartoons we could turn into a game?
Yeah.
And the Simpsons was just, I don't know, having a pretty good first season, and they were like, what about this?
There was a lot of hype behind it.
Yeah. But
and obviously a lot of merchandise, there must have been conscious effort by Fox to massively merchandise it, because...
The thing is, not that much by this point.
Really?
Yeah.
What about, when did The Simpsons Sing the Blues, that was recorded, that's a season 1 thing, or a between the seasons thing, right?
Probably, yeah, but
So the in-character album, just endless stuff. Oh, closet door's gonna drive me crazy. I mean, it is driving me crazy. Fixed. In a timeline where just the genres of video games developed a lot slower.
The Simpsons Sing the Blues came out
we're running out of time.
Yeah, 1990. We're not running out of time.
I mean, I think it might actually penalize you at some point if you don't hurry. When it's telling you to go forward. I can't figure out what control input or context or if anything it is that sometimes makes like Lisa swirl the rope around for a big hit or make Bart go like spinning on his thing. I don't know if it's anything. Have I lost a life already? Oof. Actually, I just really got by... I guess one of the big things is to absolutely not try to fight one guy when another guy's near you. Make yourself very vulnerable to that other guy. Okay, no. Okay. When I did a kick on it, I took damage. I guess it depends where in the movement arc of the ghost you hit it.
Him. The guys with the hats. Not great. Don't like them. They can throw their hats.
We're both in a tight spot. Although we have unlimited quarters.
It's true.
On which note... Well, I'll give Marge a shot.
Marge!
Marge has always gotten so little credit for how funny of a character she is.
She's great.
Yeah. But you'll regularly, like, it was more, I remember people, in the ancient past arguing to me, like, during the period where the show was getting really, really over-focused on jerk-ass Homer, as they call him, you know, like, the seasons that mark the transition out of the Golden Age. And you're like, this used to be a show where all the family were characters, and now it's just like Homer and the rest of them are there. And I remember people at the time being like, Homer's funny, Marge is not funny. Why should she have a plot? Like, first of all, because like just a bunch of jokes with no story and nothing to care about. He's Family Guy.
Yeah.
It's not The Simpsons. But then also, Marge is fucking funny. When she tries to get Bart to take a potato for show and tell.
I just think it's neat.
Mom, yeah, why are you always trying to get me to take potatoes? Had there been... No, there's no Treehouse of Horror in the first season.
Nope. There's no Treehouse of Horror. I don't know why there's a cemetery level.
Elevator.
It's got an elevator fight in it, though.
And it's in a crypt. That is a great episode. That's a great episode during the transition out of the Golden Age. Marge is a cop. Great episode.
Yep.
Marge and the divorcee neighbor.
Becoming like a Thelma and Louise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great stuff. I'm back to Bart. Jeez. This is my fourth go. Oh, I should have switched to Homer since it's free. So, I would say, like, less enemy variety in the sense of, like, enemies that force you to approach them differently than the Ninja Turtles games have. But otherwise, this is fun in a lot of the exact... Oh, that's all yours. This is fun in a lot of the exact same ways that the Ninja Turtles arcade game is.
For sure. I don't quite...
It is, like... That really is a thing missing that, like... Part of the way the Ninja Turtles game makes up gameplay mechanically for...
Point, please.
For the simplicity of its controls and moveset is by making you really think a lot about timing and exactly how you're going to come at different types of enemies. Because they have so many non-humanoid robots like the Mousers and stuff like that. So that is something that you can't really get in The Simpsons without a lot of really pushing at the bounds of credulity. And yeah, like, in terms of, like, aesthetic variety, the enemies are very varied. And they're not all exactly the same by any means, especially the bosses.
No,
it's a solid game. Like, this is easily the best Simpsons video game of at least that era. Like, I've heard good things about the Simpsons Hit and Run.
Yes, I played Hit and Run a lot. We got that one, rented that one quite a bit, so... That one's pretty good. There is a Simpsons boxing game, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't there like a Simpsons Punch Out or something?
I'm not sure.
I don't like when he launches him at him like on a chain. I don't even know if these guys are a reference to anything.
I don't think they are.
They feel very like.
I think it's just like, let's come up with it. Oh,
holy
jeez.
shit! They're kicking our ass though. We haven't.
I'm taking Homer.
Okay, you get him.
They have a very.
Oh, we killed one.
They feel like early Simpsons. Like it feels like a Simpsons Slugfest is a boxing game. I know there's just a Simpsons the video game that was supposed to be good. I don't know. My Simpsons gaming memories are all of your Bart versus the Space Mutants.
These are the erotic dancers.
Your Bart meets Radioactive Mans. Your virtual Bart. Your Bart's Nightmare. Games that aren't very good.
Games that are mostly about Bart.
That's true, because Bart was, long before the transition to Homer, Bart was definitely the breakout star of the show.
Yeah.
He was an underachiever, and he was proud of that fact.
Yeah. I would argue that...
Not Super Slugfest is a boxing game on the show. So... No, I like the people who are environmental obstacles based on how hard they open doors.
Yep.
There's Moe, obviously. We're fighting our way through Moe's. Oh, and Barney. Back when his hair was the same color as his skin.
Yep.
Although, Smithers, not black.
No, Smithers has his early design, but not his earliest design.
That might be as simple as... Because that was an animator error.
Yeah.
So it could have literally just been that
they had access to the originals, yeah. I will say that, I would say that The Simpsons definitely has a golden era. Iconic!
It's an in-universe wiki entry that he found, so it makes no effort to be clear that it's telling you about an in-show game. Like, it's written like it's just a wiki about a video game. That's impressive dedication, but also obnoxious information literacy quality. Bleeding Gums Murphy.
Oh, stand next to him for a sec. No.
No, seeing nothing. Whoa.
Oh, my slingshot ran out of ammo.
Both Virtual Bart and Bart's Nightmare are games that, while not good... they just have a game called Aliens, and for some reason Marge is secretly one of the aliens in it.
Apparently this game, I haven't seen it yet, but apparently this game includes reference to the very early idea that Marge had bunny ears underneath her hair.
Huh.
Were you aware of this?
No.
So originally Matt Groening...
Oh, I get it.
When he... Is this Mo?
No Simpsons boxing game in real life. No, it's not Mo. We've seen Mo earlier in the level.
Who is this then?
It's just a guy.
Just a drunk.
He's got design elements of Kearney, but it's not Kearney.
No. Matt Groening, in his earliest idea for the show... Groening, sorry. In his earliest idea for the show...
Oh, man.
Thought that he would have it that Marge's hair was actually concealing bunny ears, and he would reveal that only in the very last episode.
Yeah.
But he ditched...
Yeah, he'll be dead before that happens.
Yes, he ditched that idea. This guy seems pretty locked in. Hold on.
Yeah. Well, that was a stupid idea. There is a wrestling game called Simpsons Wrestling.
That's what I'm thinking of. That is exactly what I'm thinking of.
I'll be Marge.
The way he moves about is very reminiscent of the way Homer moves about when he's like, "Oh, now I'm the king of everything." Yeah, got him. Nice job, Marge.
Hey, Stumpinski.
Hey.
Welcome.
So Moe's has an elevator in it that leads to...
Stimpinski, when they aired The Simpsons in Germany, and specifically the episode where Sideshow Bob gets paroled, I think it's Sideshow Bob Roberts, the one with the joke where he's got die Bart die, but then he says, no, it's German, V Bart V. This is all a preamble to say, do they like modify the animation to make that a joke about a different language?
No, they probably just have it be German.
But the characters are presumably dubbed in German.
Yeah, but they know they're not German. They're not idiots in Germany.
I know that. I'm just saying it would feel weird. I'm just curious.
Whoa, that's new. Good job.
Conk. Nailed this guy. Oh man, there's some kind of Bigfoot.
This is from an early, a very early Simpsons episode.
It's a very, very specific question, Simpsons. So it's totally fair that you don't.
Where Homer is mistaken for Bigfoot.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say it is the Bigfoot design that is a Homer design. You know, it's I think an excellent Simpsons design choice Matt Groening made. They never really did anything with, although it does still work in the thematic way he meant to do in the earlier seasons, especially. It's that Krusty the Clown's design is just like things added to Homer's silhouette.
Yeah.
And with the idea supposed to be that the joke was supposed to be in the early seasons that Bart like doesn't care about his father and idolizes a TV clown that is just his father. Okay, hold on. Two people had big things to say. Cedric said, I remember seeing German dubs of The Simpsons in class in high school. Homer has a weirdly intellectual
pause
voice.
the game.
It should pause. It's just not pausing.
Then move.
From Wikipedia. Okay. Hold on. There we go. Oh, that's how to pause it. Just hold the thing. From Wikipedia, Guided by Voices said, from a real Wikipedia, Simpsons wrestling is loosely based on professional wrestling games, but more closely resembles a beat 'em up. And he suggests possible game to play sometime in the future, and I agree. Yeah, proceeding chronologically might not be exactly what we wind up doing. Like, before we start moving on from 1993, we might want to dip into the current age to check out, like, the more recent Kunio games and, like, Streets of Rage 4, that kind of thing. But eventually, I think it makes sense to just keep filling in the gaps. And there will be a thinning of the herd as we hit the mid-90s, and especially then going forwards.
Oh, yes.
Where there aren't as many things, but also where we're going to wind up having to put in more work to find them and get them working. Hey, Sideshow Bob, but he's not a villain yet. He's just a supporting character on the Krusty the Clown show.
No, he isn't. He's only he would not have appeared. Kill this logger.
I think that's in the first season, right? Or is that the second season?
It's in the first season, I think, where he frames Krusty.
Yeah.
But he's not Bart's enemy yet.
No.
He doesn't, like... I hate this logger character.
Yeah, the logger sucks. But a really good example of creating an enemy that actually has to be approached differently from your standard enemy. This is an excellent game.
It's a bear.
Like, mechanically, this is much better than the X-Men.
I would agree, yeah. It's very fun.
Which is interesting because it's all Konami. There's no reason they couldn't have just also been... I mean, I guess the reason is that there's a seriousness to the X-Men that isn't there with either the Simpsons or the Ninja Turtles Simpsons. So now we're actually fighting a bear.
Yeah.
Oh, weird. The Bart Devil appears.
Yeah, anytime you die. Have you not noticed that?
I have noticed without, like, internalizing it. I meant to switch back to Bart. Oh.
Damn it.
Ah! If instead of fighting Wendigo, it was just a bear.
It was just a bear.
That'd be good stuff. I mean, same sound effects would work. Or wait, no, he wasn't identifying himself as the Wendigo, was he?
No, he was just saying, ah!
Yeah, just like a bear.
Everybody else says the name, but not the Wendigo.
I guess it's because he's a Wendigo. It's not the Wendigo.
Got this bear. Come on. How is he not dead? He's so flashy.
Much later in like the 2000s on way down the line home consoles. Oh man. They did
How's my hair?
the why'd you go? The how'd you go? What?
I like that. Look, they took the time to give them unique swim animations.
Yeah, this is like, and like these interstitials are great. This is a really good game.
It is.
It wasn't it was ported to consoles much later via like not port but arcade emulation. It was never local like ported to the Nintendo Entertainment System,
No.
the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. But in the same way as with the Ninja Turtles game, where you just put a limit on continues and then create a game that can stand on its own without unlimited, like, you know, that has a challenge design to it and is fun.
They've taken the time to design a level with completely unique enemies.
And it's in black and white. Is this representing the... Have we, like, drowned?
Yeah, this is their dreams.
Okay. Yeah, this is exceptional. I had no idea anything like this was coming. And it's black and white, which is a nice touch.
Yeah.
Saxophones.
We have enemies who represent, I guess, our innate fears or something.
Who fears the saxophone?
I don't know. Maybe Lisa secretly fears it. Okay, hold on.
Maggie. Oh, wow. Homer's original job, which he, of course, loses in the first season.
Yep.
Then getting upgraded to. Sometimes, you know, there's this whole thing of a kind of real bleak economic views being popular among the youth.
Yep.
And so you see a meme a lot that is like, remember that Homer has one, like, as a single income, and it was normal for that to be able to support like an entire family living in a nice house.
But like,
It's
yeah,
like,
the house
Homer,
is nice.
Like, and Homer's supposed to have actually a job he's not qualified for, but that is like a serious job in a nuclear power plant.
Yeah, a high-paying job.
That he's like lucked his way into. And of course, there's a whole plot line about how they got the house, and it has nothing to do with earning it. Abe sold his own home to let them buy the house, and they said he could move in with them, and then they immediately sent him home. The Bart Devil's in play now. It's good. Sensible use of the asset.
Mm-hmm. I am curious if the Bot Devil will appear if we die.
I think it will.
Got him.
Ha! Oh man, good stuff.
Good stuff. It's a bowling ball. It's a great enemy. Easy to animate.
Distinctive.
It reminds me of like a Cuphead and a boss almost.
Yeah.
Except it would have like 6 stages.
Marius K007. Good morning, good evening, and so on and so forth.
It grew on.
Eat My Shorts has gotta be season 1, because that's, season 1 is when the like moral outrage over the Simpsons, largely driven by Bart's attitude and language, was going on.
Oh, you gotta press start, my friend.
Also controversial was the underachiever and proud of it thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't think even then there was any reason to think of The Simpsons as presenting Bart as a role model.
No.
But like, oh man, I wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons for quite a while as a kid. Even though, like, we ordered the Simpsons Sing the Blues from... Ay caramba. So many catchphrases.
Ah, dang. He's really beating on me. We
You
haven't
really
even gotten down to flashing yet, but I don't know if this one flashes.
He is flashing.
Oh, he's flashing now.
And you're...
He does have
And he's changing forms.
So he is a Cuphead villain.
Oh, wow. God, my voices was old enough to watch The Simpsons, but he was also old enough to think it was a gimmick catchphrase comedy show. Because Bart had so many pop culture penetrating catchphrases.
He did.
It's true.
I mean, he's not wrong.
What's coming?
I don't know, but we're really fucking killing it here.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to watch for quite some time. I remember the very first episode I ever saw was... And I don't know that I'm not sure if I saw it when it was new, although I think I did. Was the one where Homer needs open heart surgery. And that was because my Uncle Jimmy wanted to watch The Simpsons at my grandmother's house.
That's a good episode.
And they were like, well, the kids aren't allowed to watch. He was like, oh, come on.
I was allowed to watch the show immediately because my family didn't have a "you are not allowed to watch things on TV" rule.
Well,
I was allowed to watch anything that was on TV, basically.
It's the...
Wake up and find Maggie. Ready?
Alright. Boom. Yeah, oh my. So once I was allowed, syndication really...
We're waking them up, Stimpinski.
Syndication was a godsend because it got caught up very, very quickly.
Yeah.
And then more than caught up. Properly millennialized so that my brain was prepared to function almost entirely on Simpsons references. Until I started to realize that was not going to help me relate to the youth these days anymore. That instead I should just be making them as though they were my own jokes and getting credit for them.
Bart! Again, Bart in a blue shirt.
Where's your sense of humor, man?
Which reminds me
Again,
of
you're saying again, but the previous time was
off screen.
Greg was talking to me about Bart's blue shirt that shows up only in merchandise.
Yep.
Like there was never a phase on the show where Bart's in a blue shirt. Nope. Maybe in the Tracy Ullman show shorts?
Maybe? I think he has like pajamas that are blue.
Yeah.
Like...
Oh, nice. The one that it occurs to me in my mind, it would be very, you'd have to be very careful to be like, by the way, I'm not an old person being like everything was better when I was a kid. It's legitimately the case that The Simpsons was like once a groundbreaking show.
Well, the thing about The Simpsons is, and I've not actually done this, but I am. Oh, I can pick this guy up. He's reusable. Throw him at the robot, man.
That's what I'm doing. And then he leaves.
So, the thing about The Simpsons is, as far as I understand, that yes, there is a golden period. There are bad episodes in the golden period, but there are. There are.
Name one.
No.
Name one.
No, because I don't know every episode of The Simpsons for the first 5 years.
I'm not saying tell me every episode of the first 8 seasons. Of seasons 3 to 8.
Cool. You're just telling me to name an episode.
A single one that isn't good.
You're just telling me to remember an episode that, by its definition of being bad, is not memorable.
No, by its definition of being bad, is remarkable.
No.
Because it takes place during one of the greatest runs in television comedy history.
But from what I understand it, there are good...
Like
there are second golden ages. There are like...
I don't believe that. You've told me this theory before. I'm willing to believe that there are other like seasons that are pretty good.
Yeah.
But like part of what they lost was just they lost so much running time in each episode that they stopped ever trying to do episodes with like a strong A plot and a B plot, and they leaned so much more into the cold open, or like not cold open, but Act 1 where the Simpsons go to some kind of conference and a bunch of jokes happen, and then at the end it sets up the A plot that is then rushed through. I don't know. I am starting to sound like a crank.
You are, yeah.
But here's the thing. It's not like I didn't watch a lot of The Simpsons after it started to suck. Or like I haven't tried to watch The
But
Simpsons
you haven't
again.
watched all of it.
No, and I won't.
Exactly.
I got things to do with my life.
So you cannot possibly know.
Play all the beat 'em ups.
Yes. You cannot, by
Watch
definition...
Gundam.
You cannot possibly know that the theory does not hold water, that there are other seasons that are good.
But that they're good, I believe. That they're equivalent to the original Golden Age, and that hasn't become like a really famous thing. That like television critics are constantly. Hey, another Life in Hell rabbit.
I don't know what the apples do, but getting them...
I think they are a slight health bonus. Good night, Stimpinski. See you at a time that works better for your sleeping schedule. So we're still just on a television set. We fought our way into the Kung Fu show.
Oh, there's lots of apples in that tree. No, all are gone.
Boom, 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 boom. Really, really good music.
Great
In
music.
this game.
It's a great game.
Yep, it really is. Like, it's not just, like, charming because it's The Simpsons, which is true in a lot of Simpsons games that suck. And it's not just, like... I was thinking that, Cedric. Very clearly coded as a Sakura tree. But instead of cherry blossoms, we're knocking apples off it.
They found a way to fit ninjas into it.
Yeah.
In the same way they found a way to fit zombies into it.
That was in a much more direct way of just being like, and there are zombies. Like here they've worked it in. What is going on? Okay, never mind.
It's a Kabuki warrior.
Yeah.
James?
When he was dancing forward, I was like, why is there like a... Why is like Sideshow Mel or something?
He's a Kabuki warrior.
Yep.
The fandom will think he's racist at first,
got a
but then it
Tengu
will turn
spirit.
out that it's actually because he's from a Kabuki background. So it all makes sense in context, actually.
Yeah.
This is a wrestling reference. This is failed. Kabuki Warriors recently reformed, kind of.
What is recently reformed?
Kabuki Warriors,
Oh yeah. Yep.
and more aptly, a version of Triple Tail. Although that was Io Shirai's sister, who was the original member of Triple Tail with Asuka.
Ah yes.
Do you think Io Shirai's sister ever looks at her and goes, maybe I shouldn't have retired? Or do you think she's like, nah,
Maybe...
I'm happy?
I am sure that if Mio Shirai was disappointed in her choice to retire, she could have unretired. They're both very young.
That's true.
They're both younger than Kairi Sane, aren't they?
I
Or
think,
Kairi Hojo, or whatever you want to call her.
I believe she's sane again.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
Well, she was just Karai
Right,
for a while.
Right.
She dropped the Hojo when she went back to Stardom. But yeah, I think they're like a year older. Or a year younger, rather. God damn it. Kabuki Warriors, get
Wait, We haven't tried any combo moves except Homer and Bart. Now is not the time, but assuming that there is more, because...
Oh, there's one. Yeah, we're doing one right now. We have a clothesline.
Oh, it's like a clothesline. Red Rover or something. That's fun. It does fit the character of Smithers as gradually revealed. That if required to go do this smash and grab, he would have like a fantastic suit with a fabulous cape.
Yeah. Smith. This is also before Smithers.
Was anything.
Was anything. Anything at all.
The nuclear power plant.
Okay, final level. Oh, just straight into Mr. Burns' mansion.
Oof. Toastified, man.
Get him. Yeah, we're not... Turns out that the power plant is just immediately adjacent to Mr. Burns' mansion.
Well, no, this is Mr. Burns' office.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Which
I think this is...
is actually in the power plant.
I'm out. I will be Homer. Homie? There we go. Get him. He's got a sweet cape. It conceals bombs.
I will be thrilled, Cedric. On the contrary, if Smithers is actually Mystique. And then we have to go to the next room to fight the real Smithers.
Okay, hold on.
It sounds like they got the actual voice actors for The Simpsons. Cuba,
but not for
welcome.
But not for...
This part is almost over. Although it will, of course, be available forever on video on demand.
There, I hit him with one of his bombs.
Yep, whenever he tosses a non-lit fuse bomb.
Idiot.
Forever.
Toastified,
Until the
man.
heat death of the universe.
God, it's taking forever.
Until me and Greg get in a big fight.
Yep.
And I delete it all while sobbing.
I'm listening to Sam McGough. You know the one I'm talking about. The
Yeah.
sad dog lady.
All they had was season 1 because that's all that existed. This was brought out not very long after the show started airing.
Nope.
Like 3.5 months. Which might have been enough time for the first 13 episode season to air, but certainly there's certainly nothing else.
This came out, I think, between season 1 and 2. Season 1 might have, or season 2 rather, might have just started airing. There was less of a break between seasons back in the day because seasons were like 24 episodes. So, and didn't air all in a row either. So like, it'd be like, yeah, there's 3 months between seasons, as opposed to nowadays where most TV shows go,
Oh yeah, season 1, it's not
months.
like it's... Like, it isn't The Simpsons yet.
No.
But it's like...
That's actually something about this game that's evident. And like, I think like, they do such a... Damn, I need another quarter. They do a great job of like, really making a meal out of what is available.
Yeah.
Oh. We killed him. But there's a lot of stuff.
I'm surprised they were allowed to have Who the Hell Are You?
Yeah.
Oh, 4 months. Thank you, Guided by Voices, for correcting Greg.
And you.
And me, but I fucked up. I trusted Greg.
Well, it came out in 1990. Like I said, it came out at the beginning of the stream. I said it came out in 1991.
At any rate, what's important here is thank you, Guided by Voices.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they didn't do much with season 2. I didn't think you were Guided by Voices.
So, the thing, Toastified, man. But the thing...
This is a really good touch, and like another like fun little Yeah, they were like, okay, well, Mr. Burns is going to be Krang at the end.
So
that makes sense.
They've made a meal of what they had, but there's so many little things that aren't here. Like there's no Dr. Nick. There's no even like B-Man, who is a forgotten character that doesn't show up anymore.
Yeah, Cuba, we are playing just on main. There's no
Snafu.
It wasn't not a gaffe, but it was very much not your fault. That was poor wiki. Is it good wiki design to fool you into believing that the Simpsons universe is real? I'm not sure. It's either really good or really bad, but it was not fit to the purpose that you thought you were able to use it for.
Yeah, no B-Man, no Disco Stew, no comic book guy. No,
a plethora. We'll die before we name all.
We'll die before we name all the side characters. But it reminds me that like the Simpsons, Springfield is this like wonderful place in terms of like there really is
Land of Little Horses. What a great name.
Land of Little Horses.
That's the name of the arcade, or is that a larger facility that contains an arcade?
Well, it's mostly a sort of stable.
It is a pony farm.
Hey!
A pony farm with an arcade. Man.
He's got
I had a lot of fun there when I was a kid.
It's a hover machine. That's amazing. Springfield is such a wonderful place, but it did take like many seasons for them to really flush it out as like a proper town. Like there's some good stuff in there's some good stuff in season 1 that really like sets it up. Like when Bart breaks the head off of the statue and the whole town like unites against him.
Yeah.
Like that certainly builds it up as a place. But I'm dead again already. Jesus.
It is doing the arcade thing.
It's eating your quarters at the end.
Yeah. Could you ever make a Smash clone?
Oh yeah, for sure you could. Oh, we've got him now. Damn. See, right there, when Marge gets electrocuted, her skeleton includes bunny ears.
Bunny ears. Well, that's fun.
But anyway, yeah. This burns me up. He's getting more and more desiccated. It's starting to look more and more like Davros from Doctor Who. Doctor Who would be a terrible beat 'em up.
Yes.
Because the Doctor would just not engage. You could have beat him up with just Doctor Who companions. There's plenty of companions who would beat the shit out of somebody.
Yeah. If you're not trying to be faithful,
no.
Then Doctor Who, that's great. We got like 15 selectable characters.
Yes. 16 if you include the War Doctor. 17 if you include the Fugitive Doctor. Just a million if you include all the different versions of David Tennant.
Yeah. And I just be playing as the 6th Doctor. Who would have the most entertaining sprite.
Oh my god. The computers at this time that this game was made would not have been able to handle it.
Yeah, they can't do the palette.
Oh my god. Damn. So close. Got a good stun lock on him. Time Lord from Ultima. Yes.
Time Lord from Ultima. He's a long quest to meet him. Oh man, it takes a while.
Oh, I think we got him. Oh, not? Why is he so tall? Hey!
That, I think they must have just been stuck with that, but we can insert fan canon to say that there's a nuclear reactor, like a miniature nuclear reactor powering the robot. That's great.
Good stuff.
Bart looks disgusted. In fact, they all look horrified except for Homer. Bart looks a little extra thick and juicy.
Wow.
He's a...
And now they're walking back home. A happy family. They've lost Maggie.
Yeah.
Because, when did the Butterfingers collab start?
I think that was probably a season 1 kind of deal.
As I understand
and that one continued.
As I understand it, the Simpsons did save Butterfingers.
Cuba, this game puts so much effort into, like, not just the interstitial, like, cinematics, so to speak, in between the levels, but then also it's a very memorable game. I mean, I never played it until today, but I never forgot that opening in the first level after seeing it when I was...
The Butterfingers collab predates Season 1. They were working off the Tracy Ullman shorts.
Wow. Yeah, superb ending credits, the in-between level cinematics. This, like, for no reason, we get a nice big Bartman picture.
Yeah.
What else? There's not just the cinematics, but at the end of every level, there are in-game engine animations that were also great and included, like, as we were discussing, it just starts over, of course, included, like, swimming versions of the sprites, even though there's no swimming in the game, just for this one little moment.
Mm-hmm.
The dream level. All right. So yeah, and that was a substantial, like, we played for a solid hour.
Okay, hold on. I've got an important fact to share with you. Millhouse debuted in a Butterfingers commercial.
Huh.
In 1988. So predating the premiere of the show by a year.
Wow. So for our second act today, we have a few gaps, not in our, like, play history, but in our documentation of the same on YouTube, because back in the spring, I guess I just got really sloppy, and I failed to
upload,
a handful of the Twitch video on demands. Oh wow, my mom was against it, Cuba, and only gave in because we were at my grandmother's, and my uncle Jimmy wanted to watch The Simpsons and was like, "Come on,
come on."
But there was no compromise in the sense of her, like, growing to like it. She persisted in insisting on hating it without ever really engaging with it or giving it a chance. But it was part of the same whole, like, delusional panic where I remember, like, when I finally got to watch it, talking to my friends in, like, grade 3 or grade 4 at school and mentioning, like, it's crazy that I don't understand why our parents, why our parents didn't let us watch this. And my friend being like, well, in the earlier seasons, they said the F word and like, which is not true.
No, not true.
But this was just a thing that people believed.
Yep.
Yeah. Reputation. Reputation's so strong that it was like, they're allowed to broadcast curse words on network television.
On network television. Yeah, there was a lot of people who thought Bart was up to a lot more than he ever was. He was certainly disrespectful to his father, but he was not, like...
No. He was not.
He was also frequently being strangled, so, like... That's...
Yeah. So, for our second act, we're going to go back and plug those some of those gaps, which are, coincidentally, all Ninja Turtles games. We played every Ninja Turtles beat 'em up of our relevant time period, and yet did not manage to successfully document them all. So I think we're going to dive in to the arcade game, which is not the arcade game. The arcade game subtitle is attached to the home version of the arcade game.
Yes.
TMNT 2, the arcade game. The 2, not because it's the second arcade game, but because there had been a previous Famicom game.
Its immediate follow-up, Turtles in Time.
That's a great question.
Turtles in Time at the arcade? I think Simpsons might actually be better. The home port, though, is a different story.
I do think that the ranking, when one day like a year from now, we're putting all the beat 'em ups through 1993 into a genuine authoritative ranking.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the positioning will be that home version of Turtles in Time is above The Simpsons, but The Simpsons is above the arcade version of Turtles in Time.
The arcade version, from what I recall, I believe we actually do have that. Or do we not?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've got that. It's all in the...
No, I mean, do we have it up? Do we have it up?
Oh. I don't know. I think the two that we're missing are TMNT 2, the arcade game, and any Turtles in Time.
Oh, okay.
So I guess that's 3 that we're missing.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Okay.
What's the
what's missing now? It's just a capture card.
There we go.
There we go.
Baba Is You.
I'm playing some Baba Is You.
Good
playing
game.
a little 7 Billion Humans. Also a good game. Not as good as Baba Is You, but I've completed far more of Baba Is You than I have of 7 Billion Humans. And so when I want to play Baba Is You, I have to exclusively grab... Oh my goodness. Cuba. One of the greatest games ever made. Totally not suitable to our purposes here.
No.
But I will...
Because it's a puzzle game that involves a lot of thinking.
It's a combination. It combines Lolo, or if you prefer to be as official to the lineage, Sokoban style block pushing puzzles with logic and programming puzzles, in the sense that all of the... Oh, no spoilers there, Cedric. I'm absolutely going to do Hero U one day after I've done the full Quest for Glory series. I bought it for that reason, and I have not opened it, and I will not.
Mm-mm.
It's just going to sit there until the time comes.
Alright.
For myself.
Oh, you might want to turn up the sound a little bit here, James.
Hold on. So the issue here is just our headphones. I think the volume's fine for the folks at home.
Alright. It was just much louder when we were playing The Simpsons.
Would you like me to turn up your
could
monitor?
you turn... Can I get something? Hold on. Can I get it in the monitor? Can you turn it in the monitor?
How's that?
That's good.
Good? Excellent.
Let's jump in.
Thanks for stopping by,
See you
Guided by
later.
Voices. Always a pleasure. Man, I mean that. Yeah, so Baba's You. The gimmick is that there are no inherent properties to anything, including like the Baba sprite, who is like the main character. Like, walls do not inherently stop you from walking through them. The flag is not inherently the goal of each level. You are not inherently Baba, or Baba is not inherently you. Rather, the rules of each level are spelled in tiles. So a 3-word phrase like Baba is you combines a noun, the verb is, and then a property, an adjective, you. And when that happens, then that property is true. So as long as the phrase Baba is you is somewhere on screen, you control Baba. And the goal of every level is to form the phrase something is win, and have the thing that is win occupy the same square as the thing that is you. And it takes that to some really, really interesting places from a design standpoint. Incredible puzzles. Some of which are just like mind-bendingly difficult, and then one day you solve it, you have the breakthrough, and you just like... It's as close as I've experienced to a religious revelation.
2 turtles, please.
2 turtles.
Okay, I'm in. I will be Donatello.
So yeah, as we were saying, very, very similar gameplay setup here between the Simpsons game and the Ninja Turtles arcade game. Same button setup, same... Yeah, I never owned them either.
No.
But certainly, like, yeah, this obviously, for a lot of folks around our age, has a lot of sentimental associations.
Do we have a friendly fire?
Hit me. No friendly fire.
Okay. Just check it. Changes my strategy in a big way.
Wait. Whatever. We've started with we obviously haven't turned on any kind of quality up setting to eliminate flicker.
No, we haven't.
But I think that's okay.
We also haven't turned on the thing that makes it look like an old CRTV.
I remember the fire. Hold on.
What's going on?
I'm curious if
Greg can get punched in the back of the head when you pause. And there you go.
Put on the filter.
Yeah.
Great.
There you go.
There we go. Some scan lines.
You need the scan lines.
I don't think there are any TV filters I'm aware of that look... They never, like... Only the Switch Online ones feel quite right. I don't know, though. I don't feel competent to assess.
Well, you need to...
That's a vague feeling,
What you really need to do is...
better on the Nintendo Online things.
Put some sort of bubble over the screen so that it pops.
Yeah.
Out, really pops.
Shouldn't the filter be able to do that with optical illusions?
Perhaps.
Just taking up like 20% of my CPU. Oh man, what am I doing?
Getting hit by a giant ball rolling down the stairs. But they don't tell you there's a giant ball factory upstairs in April's apartment. It's terrible. They should really warn you about that when you sign your lease. But you know, it's New York. You're not going to get a better apartment.
I've seen filters that try to imitate the, like, curved screens. I've seen them more often for arcade emulated arcade games. They try to really create the cabinet and like the tilt, and it never quite like. You really don't feel like you're getting the authentic experience. You just feel like you're getting a weird, like poorly set up at-home experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. That's probably the kind of thing that, like, if I had more free time, maybe I would be, like, hunting down a good CRT. Revived retro setup? No, you did not, Cuba.
Oh. Didn't think I was that far forward. Thought I was avoiding it. A giant marble factory structure.
Not just 80s New York, but 80s New York in fiction.
Yep.
A filthy city full of angry people.
So.
Oh, sweet.
Where does the fiction come in?
I have been insufficiently engaged in the forums the last few weeks because I've been super busy with the wrapping up of the semester. Now I'm in final paper grading week. I think I'll manage to get there on Thursday. So I'll see that then. I'm excited. Trying to get distance on this guy so I can hit him with my jump kick. And then my jump kick landed.
Simultaneously.
Punched me in the face. I was also trying to not be the first one to die. I think us dying at the same time is the best outcome.
Yeah. We're equals.
We're like the Peach Garden Heroes. Except the Peach Garden Heroes, quite famously, even in the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, which is the fictionalized version of the Three Kingdoms, of the records of the Three Kingdoms War, they swear the Peach Garden Oath, which is fictional. That didn't happen in history. But then it follows the historical events reasonably closely, so they don't die on the same day at all. They don't even... The two of them, I think it's Guan Yu and Zhang Fei, who outlive Liu Bei, but I could be wrong about that. But at any rate, which one of them dies first, the other two don't give any thought to like committing suicide to keep the oath.
No.
Because that would be absurd.
It would. It would be.
I gotta pause a sec so I can grab a drink.
Okay.
Refreshing.
Good. Now we got mouses. Oh, not mouses. These, I forget what these things are called. But
yeah.
They're not mouses, obviously.
They're not, but they're a new enemy type that demands different use of our basically two moves. Oh, literally two moves. The Simpsons did have which I think we get later in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles beat 'em ups. Maybe even in the arcade version of this. Oh no, there it is. I was gonna say, the jumping attack on the way up.
Yeah.
But that's here too. I think you just got to hit it really quickly after the jump. April O'Neil cowering in the background.
We'll save you, April.
Nice variety even in the foot soldiers.
It's amazing how similar this is to the plot of the movie. Don't the Turtles meet April by saving her from a building fire in the first movie?
I have not seen it recently enough to remember. Although, to the extent that I remember anything, it's that Rocksteady is not in the movie.
Rocksteady is not in the movie. In fact, for some reason, they don't even include him in the sequel when they introduce 2 more mutant characters. They create new ones. Razor.
Took the L.
Damn it.
Hopefully because the fire started on this level, they had a chance to evacuate. I'm more worried about the ones living on the upper floors.
Oh yeah, they're all dead.
They're doomed.
They were crushed by giant marbles.
Oh wait, I suppose actually, obviously, Rocksteady got in here because the Technodrome is drilling up from underground. It's really remarkable that the structure hasn't collapsed. Credit to the engineers.
Damn it. Got him.
Sweet. Alright. Not a great showing on the first level, but whatever. We survived.
We survived.
I feel like probably the... Is that a real rhino thing? Now I want to know.
Do rhinos never attack first?
That'd be an interesting trait.
Well, I mean, rhinos aren't predatory animals.
No.
So,
but also, their attack, at least classically imagined, involves a running start. Which is tough to do when you let the other guy take the first shot.
Well, they're pretty heavily armored. Although apparently pretty sensitive as well. The skin is quite thick, but also receptive.
The Thomas the Rhino in my favorite children's story, The 11th Hour, is very sensitive.
Emotionally, I imagine?
Yes, he cries a lot during the... Wait, does he cry? I think I'm right that he's at least very upset. Because I know the crocodile cries too, but those are, if you can believe this, crocodile tears. What was his dialogue originally?
I'll make you into turtle soup? Something along those lines? That's a classic. Something turtle soup?
Tonight I dine on turtle soup. Yeah. That was... I didn't catch what his line was this time.
Tonight I dine on vegan soup.
Yeah. Tonight, soup for us. Just doesn't really quite have the same feel. Oh, it's just ha 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 ha. That makes sense. Noodle soup.
Ramen.
Get a Friends reference in there.
R.I.P. Matthew Perry.
Yeah, geez, that's a sad story.
Take the high road. Pizza.
Take the slice.
Take the slice.
Surprised more video games don't steal lines from Shakespeare.
Yeah, be like the
Like, not only do you get
Star
literary
Trek.
cred, but like Shakespeare's full of badass lines.
He is, yeah. Like I said,
Hot girl just rolls through.
Yeah.
That's a nice touch. I think you could make her like duck you if you try to hit you.
Yeah, she gets like upset at you if you try to hit her.
But why would you do that?
Yeah, to be a jerk.
Yeah.
Some people back in the day, this was the only way to
Get their toxic
Call of
feelings
Duty wasn't out yet, James. What were they supposed to do? Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, this is all stuff we've discussed when we played these games the first time.
Yeah, but the whole thing
to
we're
bring it
doing
back
here.
around.
Yeah, James Avery.
Amazing.
did a great job.
He did a fantastic job.
Alright, I'm game over, Greg. You have to beat this entire level without dying.
You got it.
I think, like, I feel like if you want to win, the flow you need is to beat 2 levels per continue at least. It's certainly not continuing on level 2.
No.
But then again, we also haven't practiced at all. Whoa, the juddering on that big crack in the building made me think there was an earthquake coming, and then I was like, no, this isn't Manhattan Project. The late, great James Avery as Shredder.
Mm-hmm.
Fine performance. Did they ever do a thing? Did they do anything on Fresh Prince with that? It seems like the kind of meta thing Fresh Prince would have done.
I think they had him use the voice, at least on one occasion. But I don't know if they ever tied it directly to Shredder, or he was just...
It seems like the kind of thing where, like...
voice, you know what I mean?
Where, like, you know, like... Uncle Phil would be like...
It seems like definitely...
He'd say something about his soup, and then Will would be like, turtle soup, and then turn and look at the audience.
It feels like something they get into, especially in the latter seasons of Fresh Prince.
Even in the early seasons, like, they got
really fourth wall breaky in the later seasons.
Though. Like when
they literally said,
Will tricks Carlton into thinking that he killed the girl after Carlton played a prank on him to humiliate him in front of the girl, and then Carlton freaks out and starts running, and he
just runs through the sets.
all the sets. So he exits one set, and then like the elevator doors open on a completely unrelated set, and he's there. Very early on, there's the thing where, you know, Will says something to the effect of, you know, if we're so rich, how come we ain't got no roof?
Yeah, they pan up to the studio.
But I suppose also, in an early 90s context, we'd expect way less of the audience to be aware of the dual role.
Yeah, especially because the voice actors in this period were not particularly well credited.
No.
Help! Ha 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 ha! I'll just stand here. Make sure they get the point.
The timing's mildly tricky. It's not that tricky. But
I'm getting better.
The on the way up wallop move is an instant kill on any foot soldier so far that I've hit with it. There's a little bit of Bayou Billy in the setup here where there's more of a stun lock, but it's the same thing where the enemies don't stun lock quite the same way they do in other beat 'em ups.
No.
And when they go down, they're down. They don't get back up. Like going down only happens when they're defeated, which is not the case in most beat 'em ups.
No. Especially beat 'em ups.
Konami was figuring it out.
Yeah.
They were taking little bits of what worked. They would take this and apply it to The Simpsons. They would got you to the slice on time.
Got me to the slice on time. Slice on time.
I remember my ex long ago went to the record store, the CD shop, to purchase some David Bowie.
Sure.
I think she was just buying a collection. And the guys at the counter were like, oh, sweet Bowie. We were gonna put some Bowie on because Bowie rules. And then they paused and they're like, well, except for everything he did in the 80s. And I was like, oh, yeah. Modern Love. What a terrible song. Let's Dance. Atrocious song. Little China. Like, get the hell out of here. With your hipster.
Suffragette City? Was that? No.
That's definitely 70s.
Yeah. That's not on Changes, but that's, I think, the next album?
I wouldn't know. I couldn't do that much for you in terms of sequencing David Bowie's career, but
I will say I am a simple Bowie fan. I like the hits. My favorite album is Changes. I do like the story of why David Bowie got so experimental in the 80s. Do you know this?
No.
He was locked into a terrible record deal. Like, his first agent was, a monster, as agents of the time usually were, it seems. And he basically had this terrible record deal where he was locked in for like 3 or 4 more albums, and he just didn't want to do it. He was like, I'm one of the most successful acts in the world, and I'm getting paid peanuts. And so he moved to Germany and started doing a bunch of experimental shit. During this period, his most successful song by far was Under Pressure with Queen.
Yeah.
But also, Under Pressure was both co-owned by Queen, and the proceeds were donated to charity. So... And then immediately after, like his first album after it ended, was a huge commercial hit because he put in a bunch of like pop songs, like basically things he had in his back burner, but was like, no, that'll be too successful.
Yeah.
I'll leave that until this contract's over. So he hit the ground running. But in the meantime, he's like, yeah, I'll move to Germany. I'll do a bunch of weird clubby music and shit. I'll hang out with some weird guys who will later inspire my allies on the Venture Bros. I can't see his laser properly.
The flicker is not our friend for laser spotting.
Ooh. Do you have you ever watched Venture Bros?
Not enough to...
Fantastic show.
I've heard.
There's an ongoing bit where the heads of the Guild of Calamitous...
Calamitous?
The Guild of Calamitous Intent? Yes, that's it. The Guild of Calamitous Intent... Ah, shit. The bosses in this game really get you.
Yeah, I feel like the idea with Bebop is supposed to be really taking your time, but it takes so many hits. It's really tough to marshal the patience to not just get a bunch of hits in instead of getting one hit in and getting out of the way.
The gimmick is that all of the heads are actually like just thinly veiled musicians, and that I think at one point they say that the guild eventually just became a place for musicians to retire after they fake their own death.
Yeah.
And David Bowie in the earliest seasons is the leader, and he is they all have superpowers, and in his case he is a shapeshifter.
Ah, game over. Jeez. One of the things I'm the worst at in action games is when the strategy that makes sense is at odds with what's the most fun way to play. I just can't, I am not good at settling myself down and not just going for it again and again and again and again. Alright, well, I mean, hey, here we are, enjoying the Ninja Turtles game. It is warm in here. I'm turning the heat down a touch.
Indeed.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
How do you think Abra feels?
Cozy.
Yeah.
Given that the door has been closed and she does not generally want to be in the room if the door's closed. Come on after that, Shredder Creep.
Okay, here we go.
Very succinct title for Stage 2. You know what you're getting into. I positioned my hands for A-B as labeled on the controller. And then took some unnecessary in an arm lock damage, in a full Nelson damage. That's straight out of a Renegade.
Yeah.
Ketsuko Akunioken. The enemy's putting you in a health draining full Nelson. Actually, it's not like a full. It's like a weird waist lock.
Yes.
It's not clear to me how it's supposed to actually be confining you. Although I suppose these are robots. They could be very, very strong, but just utterly unsturdy.
Do you know, I listened to a podcast recently that talked about the tradition of unscrewing the fire hydrant to cool down in the summertime.
Yeah.
Apparently, the city of New York, between certain months, just like you're free to do it. You just have to call ahead, and they'll actually give you a special device. And that's the big thing. They're like, please don't do it without telling us, because if you just unscrew this thing, it's going to take so much water pressure. It's going to take so much like resources away from the city that are unnecessary and also not fun.
Yeah.
Because the full blast of it is actually
gonna hurt you.
Not great, yeah.
Oh shit, we've made it. We got you to the slice.
Just in time.
No.
Yes.
Okay. Oh no. I was enraptured watching your struggle, and I just was in a lock, losing health.
Yeah, it all started in a terrible heat wave in New York in the
hey, lady.
I believe the 60s or 70s. Back before air conditioning as well. When generally people would just leave New York. Like, if you were rich enough, you just left New York in the summer. Like, what are you, insane? I'm not going to be there in the summertime. It smells like hot garbage. Because we leave all our garbage on the street and it gets hot.
They're like just now starting to get containerized trash in New York City.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of, at least when I was still on X, there was like all this backlash, even from like ostensible like leftists being like, you know, New York City culture is just different. Like, it's not going to work here.
Of course.
It's like, yeah, in the same way that like New Yorkers think that having a butter roll is a unique, only in New York do you enjoy just a Kaiser roll with butter on it.
Yeah, sure. Not like
like there have been articles in the New York
everywhere.
Times about like the distinctive New York treat, the buttered roll. Or for that matter, the whole bodega thing.
Yeah, they're just convenience
We
stores.
have convenience stores everywhere in the.
No, you don't get it. They're bodegas.
Everywhere in the world.
They have hot food sometimes. Yep, we've got
Yeah,
those.
it's like a convenience store. It's
Yeah.
convenient when the store has that. Oh man.
Alright, we're at the boss. Watch out.
I thought I would get him.
Well,
And I did.
in a
But
way.
at what cost?
A
Cost
little bit of
one
health.
bar of health.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're still in much better form. Especially given that you've finally ticked over your 1-up, which really is it's kind of them to let you bank your score because
Yeah. You'd never get it on
it takes
one.
a while.
Yeah.
He recovers from the run fast enough to get a punch off while you're still in the air jumping over his run. It's all about, you gotta not be quite on the Z-axis when you start hitting him so that you're not immediately hit by his run while he's running in place. And then you still have to get out of the way in a way that stops him from hitting you with his follow-up.
Yeah, his follow-up is really bad. The little punch he does.
Yeah. It's a real quick jab.
Damn.
That's a short jab.
It's a short jab. Oof.
Man, so this Gundam show. Whew. There's a reason this thing has lived on, you know.
Yeah.
In
There's a reason they're building a life-size Gundam.
Like, oh man, it just... So the first, 10 episodes are basically just a chase show.
Yeah.
Like, the Gundam crew of the Earth Federation are in Zeon space. Those are the two opposing forces. And the Earth Federation and the Gundam
What
crew...
do they call the people who live in Zeon space?
Zeons.
Not the Zionists?
No.
Would that be too on the nose?
Well, I also don't know. I'm not getting any, this is a metaphor for Israel from the Zeons, I'll say. But the whole plot in the early going, it's just every episode is the antagonist characters of the Zeons are hatching a plan to try to catch the Gundam crew. And the Gundam crew is trying to hatch a plan to get closer to escape. And then the relevant operations play out. There's good drama and the characters are being sketched in. And you're noticing already, oh, this show takes trauma very seriously. And
yes.
Never ever for a moment lets you forget when the cool robot stuff is going on. That the cool robots kick-ass advantage over vehicles means that it's killing a lot of human beings.
Yeah.
Like every time the Gundam
uses
its giant sword to slash open something, you always get a shot of screaming people before it blows up.
Yeah.
It never lets you off the hook for the carnage, and the characters aren't either. But otherwise, it's just like a chase. And every episode is just our two antagonist characters, who are Garma, who is an officer who is also the son of the ruler of Zeon, and who has his place because of privilege, but also is talented, but really needs to prove himself. And Char, who is not from any kind of notable family, is massively outranked, but is making his way on his own merit. Yeah. And the two of them are friends, but there's also this obvious tension between them, where Garma is kind of some sort of jealous of Char being more talented than him, but Char is aware of just and is always focused on advancing his own career. And then, around 10 episodes in, you suddenly get an episode, because it's been very vague. There's a conflict between Zeon and Earth Federation, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know nothing of either of these places. And then you get one episode where Garma and Char are actually back in Zeon space, and you meet Garma's love interest, and you learn that they're not allowed to get married because both her father doesn't want his daughter. Her father was a political ruler before the Zeon thing sort of absorbed his municipality or whatever. Mm-hmm. So he's made his peace with that. But he doesn't want his daughter marrying into this. And Garma likewise is, so Garma's when I catch the Gundam, it's gonna make me, and I'm gonna we're gonna be together because they won't be able to say no anymore. And then immediately after that, just as it's zooming out and telling you a little bit more about this Garma, except that he's just the less cool of the two antagonists, the very next thing that happens is the Gundam crew lays a trap. Char notices the trap, and Char realizes, he lets Garma blunder into the trap and get killed, because he realizes that is going to raise the political furor against the Gundam crew and make it an even bigger deal that makes me forever when I catch them. And they even after he leads him into the trap, he even has a final conversation with him where he's you were a true friend. But this is just how it's got to be. Just completely ice cold. And then the very next episode introduces the rest of Garma's family, and it's just brutal how his father's all sad, and one of his brothers is sad, but his father's can't we just mourn Garma within our own family? And then his brother, his oldest brother, who's the power behind the throne, is just coldly well, no, he's a very useful political symbol now. And the rest of his siblings are just all on board with yeah, we just got to exploit the hell out of this. And it's just so ice cold. And it, you're still learning about Garma from this. It's the most characterization you ever have of Garma to realize the position he holds in his family and his relationship with all of them. And then obviously also the way in which he's stifled in life by the expectations of his family, but he's dead. Just incredible. And then the show keeps going after that.
Yeah. I just remember there's a bit. I can't remember if it's from one of the movies or one of the early seasons, but it's definitely fairly early on. There's a scene to hammer in that bit about the Gundams, them never shying away from the collateral damage of the Gundams.
Yeah.
There's a bit where you want to get out of that water, my friend. Damn. There's a bit where
post Gundam, Cedric, the cliche is almost that I've said, the point of a giant robot show is that it would be absolutely terrible to pilot a giant robot and spend all your time getting in cool robot fights.
Yeah. But anyway, there's a scene where the Gundam
But that's not the case previously.
There's a Gundam just firing endless rounds out of a rail gun mounted on their arm, and then they zoom down and reveal that the huge casings from these bullets that it's firing are just raining down on a civilian population that is fleeing, and one guy is crushed and a car is destroyed.
Oh yeah, it's remarkable. And yeah, like the gradual zoom out, like I have a little bit better sense of what the politics of Xeon are like now, but not like I'm not sure how much of that is mediated both by the Earth Federation's propaganda and the Xeon propaganda.
Yeah.
And I still like you get the sense that like no, the Earth Federation are not just the good guys.
No.
Nothing is that simple. But I don't really know anything about the Earth Federation otherwise. They're not being as helpful as the Gundam crew would like them to be, that's for sure. But that's largely because it's useful to their ends to not be helpful in the Greater War. And obviously, the subjugation of the individual by war is
Is the boss of this section Leatherhead or Rat King?
Well, we're just about to find out.
Nope, it's Baxter Stockman. Pre-fly Baxter Stockman.
There we go. Got him.
You know, back when he was lame.
Yeah.
Pre-fly.
Yeah, transforming into a fly worked out much better for Baxter Stockman than it did for Jeff Goldblum in the Fly.
We have made it past this in our previous playthrough. Don't know if we'll make it past this tonight. I don't think we will, because I believe this is our last play.
Yeah, I definitely made it further as a kid in this game, and largely that's down to the fact that when we were kids, the model of games, you know, not being something you would just beat on your first playthrough, but also you didn't have that many games. It worked that if we had this game rented for the weekend, we had a sleepover, we played it a lot, and we optimized and like learned like, okay, you know, a thing that I don't know that I certainly wasn't using the word optimize, but a thing I thought about a lot as a kid in games was like, how far do you have to get before losing life? How far do you have to get before losing continue if you're gonna possibly make it? And so I know I've done much better than we're doing, even though in most ways I'm better at video games now. Sorry.
A lot of that has to do with just the length of games. Like, if this game wasn't, you know, overly difficult, then
I don't think it is.
I'm using air quotes. You can't see. Then it would be like an hour long, maybe. Like it with modern games, you do want difficulty certainly, and there are games that make their money off of being difficult. Like, you know, anything that's a sort of Soulsborne-esque game. Is going to have a difficulty curve, but like, you know, if you're playing a game that's supposed to be like 50 hours of game and like you're dying consistently on level 2, you're going to be like, hey, actually maybe fuck this. Maybe I have other things in my life and other games.
Well, also with the extending of game lengths, but even outside of it, there's much more of an expectation that you will get to save after each level.
Yes.
And if you get game over, at worst, it just means starting the level you were on over.
Yes. This is lovely.
This is not in the arcade.
No. This is the unique level.
And it looks great.
Which I believe it has even with a unique villain. And it looks fantastic. I love the use of snow as a way to honestly save. Like, look at this is just mostly white.
Yep.
But it's so well done.
Yeah, it's Central Park in winter.
And just the little bits of white on the treetops in the background.
As a kid, we've seen. You don't have to see that many movies to get the idea.
Central Park in winter.
Yeah.
No, just really the
you
one.
You only have to see Home Alone 2.
Yeah, I was just saying. Just need to see Home Alone 2. Just need to work your way through the filmography of Macaulay Culkin. And who's the who plays the hotel clerk? Oh my god, can't remember his name. He's a great actor. He plays a lot of villains. Plays a lot of cheese pizza. Anyway, Tim Curry. That's the man.
Oh wow,
fantastic. Tim Curry tragic right now. Have you heard what's going on with Tim Curry?
Yep.
Yeah. He seems, not jovial's not the right word. I'm sure he's going through some stuff, as you would.
Sure.
But he doesn't seem he's made public appearances and stuff, and he's not back in. Last continue? Or was there a continue?
Last continue. I think this is a case where 0 doesn't count.
Yeah. Which makes sense for a continue. But
oddly
anyway.
enough, lives is a stock count, but I think continues is a whatever you would call the opposite of that. Is it? Is that what it said at the start? Because if this is if they're calling this stage 3, they just pretended that the sewers and the level leading up to Bebop were one level.
Yep, I guess
Which does not seem reasonable to me.
Is that supposed to be a plow? Yes. It looks like more like a Zamboni. And now we're fighting snowmen. As you do, snowmen that fire rockets. You know what would make a great beat 'em up is the Gargoyle series of the Gargoyle.
Yeah, that's got an obvious 3 characters to play as.
Oh yeah, more even. But shit! Who turned out the lights? Apparently that's coming back, which good. It was a good show, except for the last season, which doesn't count. They fired the creator and created a season that universally is low to the point where it is deemed non-canon.
Oh.
Yep. These guys should not be able to go on the pits. Oh, yes. And I remember, do you remember Cedric the Owl? I played the board game that had a video cassette that you would play in conjunction with the board game. Like you would pause it at certain points and then play it at certain points. Oh my god. And it was not great, but it was so novel. It was basically a game version of the first, like, the 2-part season premiere. Oh, well, series premiere. And, like... Yes, it was incredible. Again, not that great as a board game, honestly.
I think I once played the scary, cool teenager game with the... I can't remember what it was called or anything, but...
Scary Cool Teenagers, the game.
Yeah, anyway. Like it was a board game for 14-year-olds that had a video.
Yeah.
I don't remember at all what it was called. I remember it not being very good.
Did you play any of the... I didn't play any of these because I didn't get a computer till I was 12.
Atmosphere with the Gatekeeper. Thank you, Cedric. Yes.
I didn't play any of these until I was... Because I didn't have a computer till I was 12. And by then I was more into like your MMOs, your City of Heroes and what have you. But did you play any of the early CPU games that were like had like filmed scenes in them? Like usually pretty poorly acted.
Yeah, sure, like Seventh Guest.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I was fascinated by the Seventh Guest as a kid. That might be a check out on the stream someday, I think. I don't remember ever legitimately solving a puzzle in that game as a kid.
You just brute forced it?
I'm just not sure I ever solved one.
No.
Period. I never owned the game. I only played it at friends' houses.
I see. I think we're getting to the boss. Ooh.
I was always intrigued by Night Trap, but never had a Sega CD.
Oh, no. I never even... Like,
that's a game where you're trying to protect a slumber party from vampires, and your control is just over the security cameras and a few traps in the house. So it's mostly just flip around. Myst doesn't quite count, I don't think. Like it's obviously like that is a game of the CD-ROM era.
Yes,
but I don't really. I feel like that's more for its whole like graphical presentation, as opposed to reliance on a lot of filmed cutscenes.
Damn. I had him there for a while. I got
Is
some
this a
great
guy?
hits in. Is this a guy?
Is this a guy from like actual Ninja Turtle stuff? Or is this a bespoke character?
He's definitely in Ninja Turtles. So there was a period in Ninja Turtles that I think is around now where the creators of Ninja Turtles were just making up characters to be action figures.
Yeah.
And I think that guy is from that era, but I can't say for sure if his appearance in this game comes first or if his appearance as an action figure comes first. But it was a thing where they would literally bring in friends and just be like, hey, come up with like 6 of these.
Yeah.
No bad ideas. And there were no bad ideas. They made everyone. Because they were a money-making machine. Check out the Toys That Made Us on Netflix if you ever get a chance.
Yeah, I ought to. I've heard that's good.
Great series and really, really, the Ninja Turtles episode is really good.
I'm so reactive against the title. It makes me think of like those, just like aggressive nostalgia memes that are like that stupid picture of a bedroom that has just like all the consoles and has, this is what they took from you.
Ah, damn.
It's like, yeah, like, first of all, it's just being an adult that means that you don't live in that bedroom anymore. And wokeness didn't take that from you. You just grew up. It's fine. You can still play video games if you want to.
There we go.
And we both survived. I by cowering and Greg by heroically getting the job done. Good work, team.
Good work, team.
Everybody played their role. Alright.
We reversed winter. Something we didn't know we were supposed to be doing, I don't think. Spring is here. Alright, I think we're gonna play for like another.
We're gonna get game over, full on game over, and then have a perfectly regular length episode.
Yep.
It's all coming together.
Oh no, that's what I mean. I forgot. I thought we were only gonna play for a couple more seconds because I forgot that we reloaded health at the beginning of the level. In fact, no, there's no way we're gonna get to 400.
Is it gonna open up or just back over us? Neither?
Neither. Should've waited to launch that barrel. I love the look of the white guys.
Oh yeah, they're very cool.
The sort of like mask they have that hangs.
Yep.
Is very cool.
They're vaguely Snow Trooper-esque.
Mm-hmm, yeah, very.
But they're very cool.
Yeah, these particular guys. This is a great Foot Clan design. There's some Foot Clan designs where they are just basically ninjas. But like the most basic form of ninja.
Yeah.
Like no real like panache at all, but like the purple with the like
no panache, no pizzazz.
The foot wraps are very good. Yeah, just a great design. Almost, I would say, more visually appealing than the Turtles in this particular art style.
Yep, definitely. The palette limitations are actually much harder on the Turtles.
Yeah.
Than on the Foot Soldiers can get a lot more mileage out of being, dominant one color.
That guy really sacrificed himself in order
making the shells the exact same color as the skin. It's noticeably not right.
Just that little, being able to do just that little bit would make such a huge difference to these designs.
I do think that these sprites do a remarkable job of having,
differentiating them.
Only having the 3 colors.
Yeah, oh yeah. And differentiating them. Like, we are not the same color green.
Actually, what's the deal with Dawn? How does his...
Done.
Because the nunchaku are just using Mike's 3 colors. But Dawn's bow staff definitely has a 4th color.
Yeah.
So did they do an entirely separate sprite? Because they were like purple bow staff. That's stupid.
It's possible he's gone now, so I can't really get a good look at him. It's possible they're doing some sort of visual, like, trick with the palette.
Yeah.
Well, like, it's not actually. I think one of these cars is gonna...
Whew! Missed me, though.
Missed you.
Which is gotta be really frustrating when you legitimately get the drop on someone with your trap and just miss. And all you have to do is hit them with a car driving forwards.
I will say the scale on these cars is ridiculous.
These are real big,
real boats.
These are cruising cars.
Yeah. These things are.
These are cars that once you get them up to highway speed, you're at highway speed for a while. Like, you better be going 2 towns over. And you gotta get on the brakes as you pass the first town. No, hit the goddamn thing, Mike.
Get out.
Nah.
Hey, you got that guy.
Oh, sweet.
You ran into it.
Idiot. I'm not gonna make it to 400 before I take another hit, though.
No. That's what I was saying. I think it's possible, especially if this was a Mouser level. I think you'd be more likely.
Yes.
Because the Mousers, they come in such huge waves. And you can take it like 6 in a hit if you time it right. And a great chiptune rendition of the Ninja Turtles theme.
Come on. Drop me a pizza.
Oh my god. Fantastic.
Baxter Stockman, the Fly.
He's been turned into a fly man between missions. You failed me, Baxter.
Now, you become the Fly. No horrifying transformation period there, don't worry. This isn't a Cronenberg movie. David Cronenberg's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I'd watch it. Well, I might read a review first.
I'd watch it, but I wouldn't necessarily make anybody watch it with me. I have a very high tolerance for David Cronenberg's body horror. Like, The Fly, like, Danielle loves Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
And when we watch, like, she's often, like, when it's, like, October and I can cajole her into watching a horror movie, she'll be like, well, at least if it's 80s horror, I know that I can take it. And so sometimes she's been like, oh, Jeff Goldblum, The Fly. And I'm like, no. You will not sleep for months.
Yeah, when he breaks that guy's wrist.
No, really just that the entire overriding, like, the message of the movie is, hey, notice how you're going to die one day and there's nothing you can do to stop that?
Nice, well done, James.
I don't think that's a message that Danielle needs to think about anymore than she does. Okay, I'm hanging in there.
You're hanging in there. You're in the turtle van. The potty van.
Alright. Hell yeah, you do. We can talk about that later. Scene 4.
Let's get to that secret factory.
I can probably get the extra life now.
You can, I think.
Thereby trapping you well beyond your stop time.
I'm fine.
Okay, great.
And we're not past the stop time quite yet.
Great theme here. Not the Ninja Turtles theme, but cool little song.
Good, yeah.
Go figure. A Konami NES game with good music. It's
possible.
It's not Bayou Billy Stage 1, but it's good.
Bayou Billy does have some shockingly great music. Does not fit the theme of either of the games.
No.
Bayou Billy or Mad City.
Well, they're the same.
They're the same,
aesthetic.
but I think they have a slightly different vibe.
Well, in the sense that one of them's more fun.
Yes.
But I think otherwise it's just like Mad City is about a guy from the Bayou fighting his way into New Orleans to take out a Louisiana gangster.
Oh yes, very much the same.
There we go, baby.
There you go. Yeah, oversold on the
I'm in the pocket now. I'm hitting
hitting
the hop smash on every button, on every attempt I try to press it.
God, these guys are the most annoying because they're so fast.
And they have weapons, multiple types of weapons at range, both at long and medium range.
I'm not sure what these guys are the most. They remind me of Professor Honeydew. Well, not Honeydew. That's...
Professor Honeydew. That does not... That definitely sounds like one of the ideas that they're like, okay, no, we're not making the Professor Honeydew toy. That's not a...
I believe that's the name of the Muppet, is it not?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. No, I was thinking, I can't remember his I guess, alien name, because he's not human. But the Fugitoid, the Turtles' ally.
Muppets beat 'em up. That's
I would
promising.
play that in a second.
Who are the 4 playable Muppets? Kermit, Miss Piggy, obviously.
Kermit, Miss Piggy,
Miss
Gonzo,
Piggy's a natural
and Fozzie.
character for it, and you need to have Kermit because he's the main guy.
Kermit,
Fozzie and Gonzo, yeah.
Fozzie and Gonzo's gotta be.
Yeah, you're right. And it is clearly going to be the kind of game where you got the special move button that's just like play an animation, clear the screen.
Yeah.
And then you can get like Animal for one of those. And
oh yeah, like have support characters, yeah. But I think the enemies make a ton of sense. You could just throw various. Oh, nice.
Any kind of just like classic enemy, like a bunch of old timey gangsters in one level. That works.
Yep.
That's true. That's a very good point, Cuba.
You see their feet occasionally. They have that unique Muppet walk as well.
That's true.
I don't know about you, but I've seen Kermit fully tap dance. Look at these Japanese delinquent motorcycle riders. I like the lowriders, though. The lowriders that if you look, there's like 6 of them in there riding.
I feel like I'm going to be infuriatingly close to a pizza after losing this life. Well, I'll find out now.
You'll find out
At least
now.
I can stop thinking about avoiding the frustration and just accept it.
Just accept it.
Start mentally preparing for it when the next time the screen moves. Next screen scroll, you know it. Full pizza. Actually, there's no full pizza in this game because the slice gives you full health.
Yep. Pizza. Fantastic. Nope, no pizza yet. So you had quite a while to go.
Life-giving pizza, the nectar of the gods. I started playing King's Quest V, Absence Makes the Heart Go Yonder, on the weekend, Greg, and I spent almost the entire time mapping the desert maze.
Of course.
And I'm pretty sure I fucked it up.
I started playing Sea of Stars. Yesterday we had a storm, to those who are not local. We had a big windstorm and our power was knocked out for a couple hours. So I decided to pick up the old Switch and boot up Sea of Stars. What a delightful game so far. Very clear setup of oh, you've been ushered into this order of warriors, but it's clear that there's something going on. Like the older warriors are like, why do we need to bring them in? Can't we just not? Do we have to do this to them? And the headmaster's like, oh, nope, it's all part of the plan. And then, it's just it's very Chrono Trigger. It's very Super Mario RPG.
I'm interested in this fusion.
Yeah, it's...
Not an obvious fit, the two of those games.
Well, I mean, they have elements they share, for sure.
Three character party, for sure. Mm-hmm. But Chrono Trigger's active time battle, where positioning is not... You have no control over the positioning, and yet it does matter for the area of effect moves.
Well, and the thing in Sea of Stars is that you don't really have control of positioning, but what you do have control of is turn order. Your turn order is not determined by your speed or anything like that. Okay. You completely control in what order the characters go, and as the battles get more complicated, I'm still fairly early in, so a lot of these are still, fairly simple. Yeah. But as the battles go, you're going to find, because you can cancel an enemy's action. If an enemy to do a complicated action, something more complicated than just a basic attack, they need to prepare it, and you always can see how many rounds the monsters have. And you can interrupt those things if you hit them with the right sort of attack. So which character you use in which order, you don't want to just use this character in this order or use this character's ability too soon, because then you'll only have one turn to potentially block an attack. And if you don't have the right character prepped for that turn, then you won't be able to block it. I will say the one thing so far that I have the most frustration with is that in the Mario RPG series, be it Super Mario RPG or the Paper Mario or Mario and Luigi, the idea with the jump or hammer block is kind of to not get hit. Ideally, I think in most of those games, you're trying not to get hit as much as possible. where in this one it is not a dodge, it is a block. So you are only ever subtracting, I think, like 33% of the damage.
Yeah.
You are never fully blocking it. And they even in the tutorial, with the dude teaching you how to do it, is like, don't think of it as something you have to do every time, but think of something that's really good if you do it. And I'm just like, personally, I'm like, nah, feels like something I gotta do every single time.
Yeah.
Feels like I'll feel like a failure if I don't, actually.
Yeah, why are you just letting this guy score hits on you? Why is the party van careening off the bridge when it was going just fine when Mike got on?
Mike really just fucking hurled his body at the steering wheel.
I really locked in once.
Mm-hmm.
Once I wasn't distracted by Dawn on screen.
Once I wasn't distracted by...
Here's some results from the search.
God damn it, Google. I don't ever want to talk to you. My Google lady on my phone activates, like, she has a fucking hair trigger. Just whenever I touch seemingly any button for longer than like a second, she's like, I think you want to talk to me.
Yeah.
And I can assure you, I never do. I don't even ask her for the weather. I just Googled the weather. Like, it would save me 2 seconds, but why would I ever?
For that.
Yeah.
You don't need to talk
Why
to
would
your
I
phone.
ever?
You can talk to a person on the other end of your phone occasionally, but there is no need to talk to your phone, to your computer. It's kind of novel when people have like a Google Home or an Alexa to do the only thing that those things are good for, which is say, hey, play this song.
Yeah.
If they've got Spotify set up.
Like
and otherwise, it's just annoying. If I want the heat turned down, I will walk over to the thermostat.
Also, it was revealed recently, I don't know if you saw this, that Alexa actually is losing money.
Oh, yeah, they can't make money on this shit.
But
the whole idea, the business plan was Alexa will constantly suggest that you buy things, but nobody buys things on their Alexa.
No. It was revealed that they were super disappointed that like 90% of the questions asked of Alexa are like, Jesus.
All right, can you Google this for me? Yeah, that went really badly.
Yeah,
I was starting to think I'm
going
to make it to 600.
Yeah. What's the weather like? Call so and so. Like but it's hilarious because those are the only questions they ever show people asking in like the commercials.
Yep.
They never have fucking Zoe Deschanel be like, buy a new potted plant for me. That never happens. That's not what they're selling it on. So why would they ever think that that would be what people would use it for? You're not even telling them that they can.
And like, when has Amazon ever made a good recommendation of a thing to buy? Every Amazon recommendation I've ever received is, do you want to buy another copy of this thing you just bought?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
the frequently bought together.
You've collected so much of my personal data to form a model of me where you think that I just only want to buy the one most recent thing that I bought again and again forever, even when it's like a video game.
Some of them bought together can
This
be
is
useful.
what we gave up privacy for.
But only ever if you're like planning on buying it already. Like it might save you a second to be like, yes, I would like volume 2 of this thing. But like if you were already planning on buying volume 2, then it didn't really.
If I order like a Seinfeld DVD box set,
you don't want another.
And then it's like,
Seinfeld
well, do you want Golden Girls season 4? Like, no.
Well, in that case, they got you though, because you do want that.
If I was getting the Golden Girls, though, I would start with season
Yeah, you would start with season 1. Okay.
And there's no reason to think I should have easily made. If only I hadn't stood in that laser shower and just died. But,
yeah. That really got you.
You know, we all gotta live and we all gotta learn. So yeah, phase 1 is complete.
It's complete.
For the rest of this year, we aren't commencing phase 2. Maybe like the last one of the year. But among other things we got upcoming, another crack at Streets of Rage 2, which is a hell of a game. We ought to fill in the Turtles in Time gap in the historical record. And then, not our ranking. We'll do the ranked list when we've played all 138 games on our beat 'em ups through 1993 list.
Mm-hmm.
But what we will do is a preliminary sorting.
Yes, putting these things into 3 sections. The goon for the worst games.
Games suck.
Yeah, the sort of middling games are the mid boss. The middling games will be put in the mid boss or elite section, and of course, the best games are the boss sections.
Boss tier. And so, like, for example, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game. Boss tier.
Boss tier game, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a boss tier game.
We don't really have to ask the complicated question of, like, is this better? Like, where does this
we'll do
fall?
that later. We'll eventually do that definitively.
Yes.
No ties, unless we have some extremely intellectual reason. No ties due to indecision. Mm-hmm. It has to be brilliant sophistry.
Yes.
But also, Goon tier, Battletoads and Battlemaniacs.
Oh, for sure.
And it hurts me to say this, and it'll hurt me when we do it officially. Shodai Neketsuku wa Kunio-kun, Goon tier.
Goon tier.
Neketsuku wa Kunio-kun,
oh,
boss tier. And
yeah.
Like a year from now, I'm going to be making a pretty hard case for it being awfully close to number one. Way closer than anybody would expect based on if they read what anyone else who has ever written about this game on the internet has ever written. But the conventional wisdom is wrong.
Good.
In every way that I can imagine. And I can't wait to explain why. But we got a year to wait for that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so that you can look forward to that. That'll all be very exciting. And then we start phase 2. In my spreadsheet, I've identified 98 other games that seem to qualify as beat-em-ups.
Yes.
Through 1993.
Some of which won't. Some of which probably won't be on our final list.
And we will be very open to anyone telling us that we missed something.
Yes.
And I've acquired most of them, either legally when I can, which is not as often as I'd like.
A lot of these have not ever been reproduced outside of the arcade, so not really possible.
No, and I will keep trying to find, like, there's a DOS one that I think, probably I can track that down on an abandonware site, but it might be tricky. There's a bunch of Amiga ones. I think I'll be able to get an Amiga emulator going pretty well. Like, a lot of old computer emulators can be tricky to get working. But the Amiga, from what my neighbor had an Amiga when I was a kid. And the one thing I remember about it was very much just a, like, put the disc in, turn it on. Like, in that set, like, there was no, like, command line prompt that we had to do to get the games to start. So, in that sense, I think that the emulators themselves might also be pretty friendly. But we got handheld beat-em-ups. We got a lot of arcade games, as you might expect.
Yeah.
Not very many NES games that we haven't played. Handful of SNES games we haven't played. Gotta go to the TurboGrafx 16 a bit. I don't know that there's anything on... Maybe we'll check out, just for shits and giggles, the Double Dragon on Sega Master System, which I think exists. But I don't know. Anyway, lots of games, and we're going to play them all. Huh.
Okay.
Interesting. It might depend on Amiga model.
GUI, I mean.
Yeah, I don't remember any GUI involved. All I remember is putting in discs and then playing the game. Yeah. I have fond memories of the Amiga DuckTales game, but not because it's actually anywhere near as good as the NES DuckTales game, which I also have fond childhood memories of.
It's just also legitimately
an excellent game.
Jumping around on the pogo stick game.
The computer game was the format that appealed to me, which is an ongoing campaign where you do randomized mini games. So it's all about exploring the world, because Glomgold and Scrooge are in a race to see who can make the most money in X amount of time. Mm-hmm. And then the mini games are like climb the mountain to find the treasure at the top of the mountain, or explore the cave.
Glomgold is such a great character. I'm so glad the new series went with his comic, went with a great amalgam of his...
That's fair, Cedric. I suspect that is probably I haven't been doing this long enough to fully be aware if that's a trend, but I wouldn't be shocked if Twitch viewership generally goes down a bit that time of the year. But I'll...
But if you have...
You'll be with me in spirit, yes. I know, especially when I'm doing King's Quest V. And
if you ever need to get away from your family, James will be there.
Yeah.
Getting away from his family.
The 58 Dream Street Promise. Yes. Yeah. So, meanwhile, rest of this week, come Friday.
Yes.
Friday Night Frosthaven. It's just an outpost phase. So if you like banter, come on by. If you like Frosthaven gameplay, I don't know what I can sell on for this Friday. You'll find out what scenario
we'll make some choices, and we'll learn some new scenarios. James is going to put some stickers
gameplay,
on a map.
But there's not going to be any combat. Lots of stickers. If you like stickers, oh man, Like, geez, if Ethan was allowed to stay up late enough, if young Ethan, he would. If the lad could stay up, he would be thrilled.
This would be his favorite part.
Yeah.
James is going to try to put the sticker on.
Yeah.
He's going to do it real bad at first.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Come Saturday, King's Quest V. Absence makes the heart go yonder. I know what part of the map I think I screwed up. So I got to re-explore part, but not all of the desert. And then we just got to get back to solving things. I'm looking forward to that. I'll be glad to put the mapping the desert behind me. Then, Sunday, back in that Labyrinth of Worlds, Ultima Underworld 2, I've reached the Pits of Carnage,
Nice.
a combat arena world, where the Avatar finds himself in an underground prison called the Pits of Carnage, where the only law is, can you win the fight?
Yeah.
Except it's already been made clear in the world building dialogue that while the Pits of Carnage is specifically an arena style prison that people are thrown into, it's also just the regular culture on the surface is of violence and perpetual combat. Kind of weird. I'm not sure why they bothered to even do, why not just make it a prison, since part of the reason that you're always showing up in a prison or a school's secret dungeon, exam dungeon or whatever, is because they can't do the outside in the same shape. Anyway, it's been a lot of fun, and I feel like we're in Act 3. Like, if we got a 3-act structure, we're 2/3 of the way, I think. I've done most of the basic exploring, and I've got the overarching mission of find the one guardian power spot in each area and use the rod on it to disrupt it. And then finally, the plot in Castle British is at crisis point where murders are happening. And so we'll progress, I assume, towards resolution point. Roughly on track with the rest of the whole plot. Anyway, that's all very exciting. Before you know it, it'll be Tuesday again. And we'll be back here, not starting Phase 2 yet, but doing some retrospective stuff, some more Ninja Turtles, some more Streets of Rage, and some categorizing of the 40 games we played thus far. Some looking back.
Some riveting categorizing.
It will be riveting.
Yes.
Join us. All right. So, hey, that's where we've been. That's where we're going. Take us home, Greg.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sticking around all the way to the end. Please follow us down below or subscribe. James is offering 30 days of conditional love. Conditional on your subscription.
No other conditions.
Mm-hmm. Also, we had accounts at one point on social media and stuff. We don't anymore. But it's all about that follow and subscribe here on the only social media that matters, Twitch.
Well, hey, and if you're not subscribing to our YouTube channel, you might as well go, because I gotta get 1,000 subscribers.
That's true. Join our YouTube if you ever come in late or anything like that. Specifically now, because otherwise you won't ever hear the pitch because you don't know we have a YouTube. Join the YouTube. And until next time, remember, violence is never the answer, except in video games. Bye-bye.
Take care. See you soon.